Hey y'all, it's wonderfully me checking in. Hey, I hope you are having a great day wherever you are and whatever you are doing. So, look, um, I really, I created this channel as a way for me to share information that I have about places I've been and things that I've done. I haven't always been consistent, but I'm trying to change that. So here I am showing up, trying to be a better version of myself today than I was yesterday. Absolutely. So, anyway, I have been in the past. I've talked about a lot of different countries I've been to, but I figured why don't I also talk a little bit about some of the places I've been inside the states. I think that uh, a lot of people who, no matter where they are in the country, who have traveled inside the country, tend to go to a few different places, right? They tend to go to Florida, to like Orlando or Miami. They tend to go to LA or New York. They tend to go to Chicago. They tend to go to Vegas. Um, people, there are people who go to like to Texas. Um, also, you know, or maybe like Vermont or something to go skiing or whatever. So I figured I'd touch on a few places I've been. I will have to admit, even though I am a person from the Northeast, I have yet to step my toe in New Hampshire, Vermont, or Maine. There was a time that I wanted to go. There was a time that I really wanted to go. And when I say this, this was like maybe 1990. I had set up a group trip for friends for us to go to Vermont for like 4 days or something. And yeah, it never happened. I don't ski or anything like that. I don't. And I think I realized that after having gone on several ski trips where I never made it to the slopes, where I just was in the party mode and just was, doing everything else, I realized that it wasn't a priority for me. It just wasn't. And many of us who have roots in the South, we also tend to travel down south, wherever your family is from, right? So, um, my mom, my mom's family is technically from like Georgia and Florida, and my dad's family is from North Carolina, right? Um, but I only really went to North Carolina in the summers. I yeah, I never really. I mean, I went to Florida, but I never went to Florida like to visit family, and that really mostly happened as an adult. Mostly, I think went to Florida twice as a kid, and oddly enough, it was with my father's family, and we were just going to Disney. So yeah, Disney SeaWorld, like we was doing all that. So, but today I'm deciding that I would like to talk about Vegas. Why? Because I have this fascination these days. I don't know. My mother cannot understand at all. She's like, "Why are you watching that?" I love to watch people play slots. Not just like slot. I do watch a little bit of low limit slots, but it's mostly like these high limit bets, crazy bets, hundreds of dollars per spin, and you're spinning to win. Like, I mean, not like, oh, I'm taking 10 spins at $100. No. These folks play like $100 a spin for like an hour. Okay, I have even seen two of the content creators that I follow, NG Slots and Mr. Handpay. I've seen them bet $1,800 a spin and fortunately win some big money. I think NG won about $330,000 and on his big $1,800 spin, and Mr. Handpay won like 279,000, which is unbelievable. Okay, and where it all began was me. I don't know how it happened, but I started watching Vegas Matt, and I got so like So anyway, because I have this thing with the slot, okay, and let me not fail to mention my favorite, my current favorite, because it's like I'm looking at myself, like a few years younger though. But it's like I'm looking at myself like with the side eyes and all of the little quick little flippant sayings and stuff. 7:30 slots. Okay. It is Ro and her wife Chrissy, and they are killing it, and I absolutely love them. So I love people who are authentically themselves, who just like let it all hang out, like, no duplications, no imitation, just who they are, and I absolutely love them. So um and they play like midway. I mean, well, they have some nicknames. I'm trying to remember, but I think it's like Low Bet Lorraine, that's Chrissy. And then there's Big Big Bet Betty, maybe Big Bet Betty, something like that. Anywho, this is why I want to discuss Las Vegas, because um the first time I went to Vegas, I, had no idea what the experience would be like. And I think I imagined in my head that it would only be uh important to someone who really wanted to gamble. But then when I got there and I saw that all that they had to offer, and I'm saying this must have been maybe 19, no, we're gonna say 1990 something, but it might have been 2000. It might have been 2000. I can't recall. Honestly, I can't recall. I'm trying to remember, because I've been several times to Vegas, and so let's just say I went in the 90s, I went in the 2000s, and I don't know when was the last time I went. Maybe in the 2010s or something like that. Anyway, so it's been a while since I've been, but it doesn't change. My point is that when I got there the first time, I realized that there were so many family friendly things that you can do in Vegas. Not only that, if you're a foodie, there are so many restaurants, and there's so many places that want to draw you in by getting you to, you know, come in for the food and stay for the gambling kind of thing, that you can have some good old times if you are willing to do it. So I feel like if you're a person who wants to sightsee, you can go over to Hoover Dam. You can take one of those helicopter trips that takes you to the Grand Canyon. You can, just even just traipse around the area. I'm sure there's like the Clark County Museum. There's like several different things you can do. So all I'm saying is that, and I'm pretty sure they have like some water parks nearby. I I believe there's like a gazillion things that you can do besides just gamble. But if you happen to like to gamble like I used to, I'm saying go. Ooh, don't walk, run. Because Vegas is a very enjoyable experience. But let me tell you, beware about something. Let me just lean in here to tell you. They give you good hotel rates, but what they put in that fine print, and you better read the fine print, is that they have resort fees daily. Okay? Daily. So that's the part that could get you. So if you're trying to stay on the strip, keep in mind that you are likely to pay these resort fees and taxes and such, and that's going to boost up the cost of your travel experience. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But again, I still want to say it's a great place to visit, especially if you're going on like a group trip or family trip, or at least like two people, friends, siblings, whatever the case is. As long as if you're not by yourself, because sometimes I'm traveling by myself, and that can be quite costly because I'm absorbing all of the costs of like the hotel or resort fees and such and such. But if you are going with somebody else and y'all splitting it, I'm saying you can have a fantastic time. um I used to have some like favorite hotels, but not so much anymore, because most of them are upgrading themselves or have downgraded themselves by not doing anything. I think the first time I went to the Luxor, I thought it was so amazing, but I hear it's falling off like crazy. Um, some of these hotels they like demolished and then they built up a new one, and or they change up the whole thing. I think the last time I stayed there, uh, we stayed at the Palazzo. I think we stayed at the Palazzo, which is attached to, what is it attached to? I can't remember the other hotel. The Venetian? I think it's attached to the Venetian. Uh, so it's like the newer side of the Venetian, which is still, the Venetian is a nice hotel. Caesars still banging, well kept. And I know that most of my friends who've been I know my brother, when they stayed at the MGM. So and they say that place is so freaking huge. Like you need a scooter. If you're not trying to walk a long way, that may not be for you. So, anywho, but I just bring all this up to say that you don't necessarily have to leave the country if you want to have a good time. You can still have a good time and stay someplace, inside the country and have a good time, and it's like comfortable for you. I'm really not a big fan of comfort. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I mean, I'm okay. Comfort within reason, let's just say. So what I'm saying is, like, I don't necessarily agree with never stepping outside your comfort zone, never trying anything new. I always eat hamburgers. I don't want a hot dog. No, I'm not a fan of that. But I'm just saying that if you're trying to take a baby step in the right direction, then, do something local. And maybe you wouldn't have thought like, oh, I can take my family to Vegas, but you can. You really can. So, I just want to say, if that's something you are thinking of, just do it. I do want to tell one, because I got to have a little anecdote for everything. So I tell a little story about me traveling with my friend T. Yo, T is hilarious. Every conversation I can bank on her making me laugh, because she has a perspective on life that's very different from most other people I know, right? She's like, I don't want to say she's fearless, because it's not that, but it's just like she'd be like stuff is gonna happen anyway, and she always says like the money will come. So she just lives life in a different kind of way. But anyway, so along with her living life in a different kind of way, she also is a person who does like convenience and comfort and such, right? Okay. So anyway, we decide we're going to take ourselves strolling down the strip. And in doing so, it's hot. It was like May, but it was, when I tell you it was sizzling, it was sizzling. I was like, oh my gosh. So we decided that if we want to go further down to wherever we were trying to get to on the strip, then we want to take the bus. So we stop in some place, we buy something so we can get some change, and then we go to get on the bus. We had waited a while or whatever, and I think in the course of us waiting or something, because I think we had bought like a bottle of water maybe, and then she decided to buy something else. Anyway, defeated the whole purpose of getting the change, because she didn't have enough change for the bus. Now I done put my change in the bus, and she like, oh, I don't have enough. I'm looking at her like, well, how did you manage that? Like, why did you break another bill? Like, what in the world? Anyway. So I'm on the bus, and I tell her, well, I'll meet you back at the hotel, because at this point we were going back. I said, I'll meet you back at the hotel. And then she was like, okay. So I'm sitting there in the bus stop waiting for the next bus to come, figuring that's going to give her time to get some change and then get on the next bus and come. So I'm sitting there at the bus stop waiting for her to come. Bus rolls in, no tea. Next bus, no tea. Now I'm panicking, because remember I said it was so hot, like it was roasting. I said, oh Lord, she probably done passed out from the heat, and oh man, this is horrible, whatever. So I go up to the room, just saying maybe somehow she, I missed her. Maybe she came like on a taxi or something like that. I was like, yeah, maybe that's it. I go up to the room. She not there. We have an excursion planned. I think we're going to Hoover Dam this day. And so I'm like, okay, maybe she went down to where the bus is leaving from, because, it's going to be within the next hour or whatever. So then I leave the room and I go down there, and nope, she's not there either. And then I go back to the room, and I'm like, oh Lord. So I call her mother back in New York, and I'm like, have you heard from T? Because, I'm so worried and this and that. And her mother said, girl, enjoy yourself. Enjoy your vacation. She fine. She'll surface at some point. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, I'm panicked. I'm panicked. And now it's getting a little bit late, and I'm like, well, this is, now mind you, this is a few hours after I'm waiting at the bus stop. Okay, this is a few hours. And I'm like, okay, we'll see what's what. We'll see what's good. And yeah, there was no her. So I was like, oh well, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna do like her mother said. I'm just gonna go down there and have me a little fun. I'm gonna go play some slots. I get down to the casino floor and I hear a familiar voice. Like, that's it. That's right. Da, da, da. I look over and there she is at the blackjack table. She ain't thought nothing about, well, my friend might be worried. She ain't thought nothing about that. She's over there. And I'm like, how you sitting over here? Like all this, how long you been here? Oh girl, I took a taxi back. I wasn't gonna wait for another bus. So you mean to tell me that you might have beaten me back because you took a taxi and not the bus? And you've been in here for these many hours playing blackjack while I was worried to death about where you were? And she said, girl, I was on a roll and I didn't want to get up. I even though I got to go to the bathroom, I didn't want to get up because I didn't want to lose my seat. This is the sweet spot. Da, da, da. I'm looking at her like she has lost her entire mind. Okay, then I realized that I was the one who had lost my mind because here I was worried about this grown woman. Somehow she's managed through life without me, there to hold her hand or figure out how it should be done. And she has survived. Okay, so I say all that to say, make sure that you have yourself a good time. Go to Vegas with your friends, with your family. Go there and do you. Have a good time. I would suggest that y'all have a system. I mean, nowadays everybody got a cell phone, but at that time it wasn't really like that. But anyway, go have a system so y'all can make sure everybody's good. But go have yourself a good time. Vegas is a great place. It's ever changing. I unlike my friend T, I like going to old Las Vegas and playing down like at some of these older hotels they had down there, like El Cortez. I actually stayed at the El Cortez one time, which people would be like, oh my God, it is a very old hotel. But let me say this, they have done a little bit of renovations and the rooms were huge in comparison to other rooms. Now we had a fabulous room at the Luxor this particular time, but they had nice rooms. It was older, but it was like nostalgic. I loved it. So say all that to say, try Vegas. If you haven't, try Vegas. And if you aren't watching, check out some slots. These high limit slots, not even a high limit, but some of these slot personalities who are creating content are hilarious, like hysterical. Okay, that's all I got to say. And again, my favorite 7:30 slots. 7:30 slots. But anyhows, I'm glad to share this local tip with you. And that's about Vegas. And I think I'll throw a few other places in there because I have been to, LA. I have been to Chicago. I've been to South Beach, Miami, and I've been a lot of places, even within the country. But my passion is when I leave the country. So, yeah, get back with me and let's chit chat about it. Okay. Yes. Vegas for the win. And, before I sign off, like I always do, I just want to remind you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Okay. Please do that. That would give me a huge boost because Mr. Algo, last name Rhythm, do not be messing with me like that. Algorithm don't be trying to play with me. So you do me a favor of getting me out there, okay? I'm the nicest. I'm most wonderful, okay? I'm wonderfully me. Just remember, it means the world to me that I get to share my world with you. So do like I always say, do good in a way that benefits yourself and others, and be better. Meaning be a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday, and be an even better version of yourself tomorrow. Okay, the world needs the better versions of us, especially right now. Okay. And yeah, I just want to say thank you for staying to the end, and ciao for now.